Morning, adventurers. Hope you can hear me over all of those cockatoos up there. I'm down in Bidjigal Reserve, which is in Castle Hill and goes down into Parramatta in Western Sydney in New South Wales. And this is a really cool space. It's a green space that exists between a lot of fairly heavy urban development these days. But we've just had a heap of rain. So it's one of those rare occasions where the creek that flows through is really flowing. So I can still get through it and still get over the stepping stones. But if the rain that we've had the last few days keeps up, that might not be the case. But right now, yeah, it's perfect to come down. So I was heading down. What I was hoping to do this morning was go and have a look at Aboriginal Cave, which is just down there. There's a concrete weir that was built some time ago, and if you take the path across that, which you could today if you wanted to, even though there's a fair bit of water, but you're going to come back pretty wet. So it's just in that section there. But one thing I didn't expect to find, so this area has a strong Aboriginal cultural history. That cave is quite well known and famous over there. One of the other traditions about this cave, though, is that apparently it was used as a place by some of Australia's early bushrangers who would head down towards Parramatta and Windsor Road and rob people who are heading from Parramatta up to the Hawkesbury region. So that's sort of its other history. Some people refer to it as Aboriginal Cave, some as Bushranger Cave. Now, the really cool thing that I've discovered today is with all this heavy rain, this has washed away quite a bit of the soil and sand that's usually down here. This is very different to what I'm used to. So yeah, for whatever reason, it's really come through. But what it's done, it's exposed some potentially really interesting finds that add to the history of this place. So let me point the one out that caught my eye. I'll zoom in on it. Some old crockery. Okay, so someone who's more familiar with that kind of work might be able to tell me how old that is or where it's from. But that does throw a bit into that connection. Here's another piece down here. Still very much embedded. Looks like some glass as well. Now, admittedly, the glass could be much more modern, and that might have washed down some other time. But just looking around, I can see a few other small fragments of glass up there as well. There's a larger piece just there near that piece of wood. But yeah, pottery wise, got that piece there. And there's a few other little white shards. They might be quite small pieces of pottery. There's one under the tree. There it is. Have a look. Not sure what that is. I'll pop it back where I found it. There's this item over here. It's like a button or something that looks modern. But yeah, it's really interesting. Here's another piece of something just here. Yeah, that's looking like it has a design, but that looks very modern, doesn't it? Yeah, that's looked very modern. And this, first I thought that might have been a bone. So that's looking like stone that started to break up, or at least I hope it is. Yeah, I'll scan through this here just so you can see. Yeah, it's interesting when all this washes up, the kind of things that you might be able to find down in an area like this. I'll stand up and give you one last good look down the creek. Over to the boulder. And then back up creek. It's a perfect morning. Perfect morning. All right, enjoy.